How much would you say you know about the law?
Abe, we're doing good. Quite a bit at the moment. It's funny you ask. I had considered studying law for a little bit, and I have a lot of friends who are lawyers in the UK. But definitely for the show, I really had to brush up on my American legalese.
I was going to say, I'm sure there are a lot of differences. I know even just in terms of like the wigs and the barrister, like different terminology. Do you feel like that was a real learning curve from what you might have thought you knew about the law?
No, I felt pretty good about it actually. It really doing a drama like this that sort of had the courtroom as a nurturing focus was felt pretty comfortable. Felt pretty relaxed.
Do you feel like this is a distinctly American show?
Yeah, I do. It's funny. My agent saw the first episode and really enjoyed it, but said, this it feels very American. I mean, it is even from what we wear to where we filmed, and all of these was all aimed towards presenting a really um, truthful view of where the story's set.
We're a few decades out from the movie, which I'm sure a lot of people know, but also a lot of people of this current generation don't. Is that something you were familiar with and you wanted to be familiar with, or no?
I'd never seen the film. I watched it. Um, I definitely wanted to. I think that when you are standing on the shoulders of people like Matt Damon and Coppola and that creative team, I think it's important to honor that. But then beyond watching it and giving it an evening of thought, I sort of let it go and focused on the script.
What do you like most about this character, Rudy?
What do I like most? I I really admire I really admire his value system and how the weight he puts on truth and honesty.
Well, he does not always get what he should get as someone who values truth and honesty and does have some pretty brutal setbacks. I would say about at least once an episode from what I've seen of the first five or so. What is it like to play those scenes?
So fun, so fun. And I got to play with, I mean, we had such an incredible cast on this. It was really dynamic, it was really fun. And in terms of the prep, one of the beauties of being in every day was that I really just kind of got to go along on the journey with him. I didn't have time to overcook those scenes, so the setbacks were enforced by the people that I was playing opposite, and I was just allowing myself to be affected, which was really, really a gift.
While you're not trained as a lawyer, I imagine you might have experienced similar things of people trying to, dress you down and make you feel like you weren't prepared in this industry also.
Yeah, once or twice. Once or twice.
Well, again, this show, I feel like it's full of twists and turns and lots of complicated relationships. While Rudy certainly wants to defend, the little guy, do you believe that he is always moral or sometimes willing to cross lines that he thinks are okay that really he shouldn't?
It's a really interesting question because I always thought of Rudy as I think he is always moral in his mind, but I was the youngest person on that set, and he's the youngest, really the youngest character, I think, driving the narrative. And actually, often it's like how, yes, he's as moral as he can be, but how moral can you be without the weight of experience? And I think that's the question that that's what gets called into question when you bring in characters like Leo Drummond, like Bruiser, who have even Deck to a certain extent, who have years and years of experience on which to base their crossing of lines, whereas Rudy doesn't have that. I think personally, I think his heart's always in the right place.
I'm not sure that's necessarily true about Deck, and I feel like PJ Byrne. Sometimes the two of you feel like you're in, like a, sitcom or something when you're just traveling, going places, and he's eating all the time. Does that feel like filming a different show when it's just the two of you?
I love that guy so much. Yes, and to a certain extent, I mean, PJ's one of his many gifts is that he brings the humor always. And you have to be careful sometimes not to be dragged into that humor because we can be on a graveside doing a really somber scene, and that guy's coming out with one-liners, which make the edit or don't make the edit, but in the moment they are so beautifully crafted and well thought out that everything's so fresh within. So yeah, some occasionally yes, but I loved it.
I've only seen half the season. Without giving anything away, is this the kind of show where you think we could easily see a season two and beyond? And would you want to return if so?
Abe, good question.
Have I asked too much already?
Not at all. I mean, in success, you hope that you get to tell a character story for a long time. I think we often talked about this being the coming of age story of Rudy Baylor, and in lots of ways, we'll see where the season ends and see where he is, and there's always amazing conversations going on.
As people prepare to get into this show, what are you watching? What have you seen recently that's really stuck with you and impressed you?
Mm. Um, you know what? I've been delving into kind of like like blockbusters, a lot of Brad Pitt stuff. I saw World War Z for the first time the other day, which is obviously film, not television, but it's been a lot more film recently, which I loved. What about you? What have you seen recently? Anything to recommend?
It's a good question. I always need to have something prepared because very often people turn this around on me. But I was actually just speaking to someone who said that she needs to see The Ballad of Wallace Island, which I very
Oh,
highly recommend.
my parents saw it and thought it was great. Yeah, definitely. I'll get on top of that.
Well, I guess that my question then is, if your parents see something and think it's great, is that like, oh, I need to see it, or oh, they have different tastes than me? Maybe I should get a second opinion first.
I love the family. I'll get the family. Anything the family want me to watch, I'm involved. I'm on board.
Well, since it sometimes takes a while for some news, and this takes a while, for season two, and the show is going to run out over a certain amount of time. If people are like, I like the show, I want to see more of Milo, what would you recommend? What's the next project of yours to dive deep into?
I've got a few. Do you know what? Sadly, I'm gonna have to give the cliched lots that I can't talk about right now. But there's some amazing ensemble stuff that I was lucky to be involved in the last few years that people can definitely check out.
Fantastic. Well, it's been such a pleasure. I wish you plenty of luck and look
Hey,
forward to Rudy's many missteps.
lovely to chat, man.